You know the scene, right? Six friends, a big comfy couch in a coffee shop, basically living in each other's pockets. It's that TV show ideal of what adult friendships are supposed to look like. But for a lot of us, reality feels, well, a little less like a sitcom. So let's dive into why that is, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. And here's the big paradox, isn't it? We've got all these apps, all this social media. We're more connected than any generation in history. And yet, so many of us feel profoundly lonely. You can scroll for an hour and see what hundreds of people are up to, but still not have that one person you can really call. In this explainer, we're going to tackle that feeling head on. I think when we were kids, friendship just felt easy. It just happened. But what if that's the biggest myth about being a grown-up? The main idea we're going to explore today is that adult friendship isn't magic. It doesn't just happen. It actually takes real intention and, yeah, a specific set of skills. So think of this as your playbook for building those connections you're craving. Okay, so just like any good recipe, you've got to start with the right ingredients. Friendship is no different. Before you can even think about having a deep connection, you need to have the basic raw materials in place. So let's start with the absolute foundation. It's called the proximity principle, and it sounds almost laughably simple, but trust me, it's so powerful. We are just way, way more likely to become friends with people we see all the time. The person in the next cubicle, your neighbor, that regular at your gym. Simply being near people is step one, but it's a little more nuanced than just being in the same building. Right? See, sociologist Rebecca G. Adams figured out the secret sauce here. It's not just about being close to people, it's about the repeated, unplanned interactions that closeness creates. Think about college. You'd bump into the same people in the dining hall, the library, walking to class. You never scheduled it. That's the magic that's so often missing from our super scheduled adult lives. We have to consciously build that back in. So, how much time does this actually take? Well, Professor Jeffrey Hall at the University of Kansas actually put a number on it. And it's a big one. It takes about 50 hours with someone to go from being an acquaintance to a casual friend. But to become a best friend, whoa, we're talking 300 hours. 300! That's a huge time investment, and it proves that deep friendships definitely don't happen overnight. So let's say you've got the proximity part down. You're seeing the same people over and over. Now what? Well, now we get to the really interesting part of the playbook, the actual art of turning those simple interactions into a genuine connection. I love this quote from psychologist Marissa G. Franco because it's so true. We wait around hoping friendship will find us. But the reality is, someone has to be the one to say hi first. And I know, the fear of rejection is real. But get this, study after study shows that we consistently, and I mean consistently, underestimate how much other people like us after we first meet them. So here's a little mental hack. Just assume people already like you. Walk into a room with the quiet confidence that people will be happy to talk to you. Because what the research shows is that this becomes a total self-fulfilling prophecy. When you act like you expect to be liked, you come across as warmer, friendlier, more open, which, guess what, makes people actually like you more. Okay, so you've made the first move. How do you actually get closer? Well, it's all about vulnerability. And there's a great theory for this called social penetration theory. The best way to think about it is like you're peeling an onion. You start with the safe stuff, the outer layers, work, the weather, what you watched last night. Then slowly, you share more personal things. That gradual self-disclosure is what builds trust. It's the foundation of any real friendship. All right, this is it. This is the most crucial part. You've gone from stranger to acquaintance, maybe even to casual friend. So how do you make that final jump? How do you forge a deep, lasting bond? This is where the real magic happens. Okay, picture this. Your friend calls you and they are absolutely buzzing. They just got a huge promotion at work. Now, what you do in that exact moment is incredibly important. In fact, you might be surprised to learn that research shows how we respond to our friends' good news is a better predictor of the relationship's future than how we respond to their bad news. So, psychologist Shelley Gable broke it down into 4 types of responses. You could be passive destructive and just ignore it, or active destructive. That's when you poke holes in it like, wow, are you ready for all that stress? Then there's passive constructive, which is just a lukewarm, oh, nice. None of those work. The only one that actually builds a friendship is active constructive. That's when you match their energy and amplify their joy. That's incredible. Tell me everything. How did they tell you? When do you start? You celebrate with them. That right there, that's how you deepen the bond. And this quote just captures it all perfectly, doesn't it? A huge part of being a good friend is being a mirror for the other person's worth. When we get genuinely excited about their successes, we're holding up that mirror. We're showing them, I see you, I value you, and your win is my win. Okay, so let's zoom out and put all of this into the context of our modern lives. Because we're not trying to make friends in a vacuum, right? Let's talk about one of the trickiest places to do it, the workplace. The office can be such a minefield. Are we friends or are we networking? It's really important to know the difference. Friendship is about an actual interpersonal connection, a social gain. Networking, well, that's transactional. It's about a professional gain. They can definitely overlap, but their core purpose is totally different. So how do you handle it? Well, here are a few key things to keep in mind. Be open about boundaries. Watch out for cliques. And please try not to build a friendship based only on complaining or gossip. And this is a big one. If you're the boss, you have to be so careful about that boss-friend line to avoid favoritism. At the end of the day, remember, being friendly is not the same thing as being friends. And, beyond just the workplace, it's so worth it to be intentional about building friendships with people who are different from you, who come from different cultures. These kinds of relationships are incredible. They challenge our own biases, they teach us new things, and they literally broaden our entire worldview. So when you boil it all down, it really comes to this. Making friends as an adult isn't about luck, and it's not about magic. It's about courage. The courage to put yourself out there, to be a little bit vulnerable, to invest your time. It's about deciding to build the kind of connections you want in your life. The final takeaway is really just a simple challenge. Be brave.